Alright, welcome back to the channel. I was having some technical difficulties on the first couple takes at this edit, so hopefully have a little bit better luck here. I got a Shima game. This was played on December 5th, today. Basically, we got a handful of T8s, 4 of them, and 1 T9 on each team. And everybody else is a T10. So, pretty typical matchmaking, I guess I would call it. Nothing really abnormal. This is 7.11.1. So, this is the post the T8, let me speak English, matchmaking adjustment, which as you can see they still kind of end up in the T10 games, although it's a little bit more balanced, I think. Initially I was going to fast forward through the initial positioning, but this is obviously interesting. So we have the majority of the team going to the C cap. The CDD is AFK or slow to load or whatever his excuse is. I find that stuff extremely annoying, especially with DDs. I've called out for help a couple times, but as you can see, everybody is going where they're going. They aren't paying attention to really how this is set up. I don't get it. I know B is not normally a very popular cap. I just hate giving up and giving the enemy caps right out of the gate. I mean, it's not a good idea to go in there and die, but it's, I mean, I'm at least going to poke and prod it and contest it if I can. Not a lot of radar. There's a Moskva and a Worcester on the other team. That's not a lot of radar by today's standards. But you're going to see some of the, what I'll call the current gameplay meta, and that is just horrible gameplay. And I'll point out a couple examples of it in there. So this Moskva has been spotted over by the C cap or the A cap, and as you can see, nobody is really positioned to take shots on them. So yeah, we got a full health Moskva rolling up on us, which isn't good. Sitting in the B cap, currently got radio location right behind me off my port side, and a couple of ships heading to the which look to be heading to the C cap from the enemy side. So, and suddenly we get spotted by a gearing who's pulling in behind us. Put torps out, not 100% on the prediction path, and lo and behold, some random old torps come flying in. I guess those would be from the Mogami. The gearing hits me a couple times, and I basically exit the cap, and you can see there's a Massachusetts behind me. I do land a torp hit, so now I know I'm going to go back in and fight this guy. I'm not sure who radared, but somebody obviously radared because I had no line of sight on him. So yeah, not a bad start. And this is what you can do if you actually play the objectives and you play smart. And when I say play smart, I would have liked to see some more damage on this Moskva who's radaring me now. And although I'm not very happy about his current position or his current health level, there's not really anybody that can take a shot at me, so I'm going to dip back into the cap and I'm going to let him just consume that radar, and I'll stay in the safety of these islands. You can see we've already lost a cruiser on our team. I'm not sure who that was. Actually, I take that back. That's a battleship. I did not see... Oh, it was Jean Bart at A. He obviously got blapped. I'm not sure if it was a torp strike, which it probably was. But here you can see the majority of our forces are over at C, and I don't know really. I've said this in the last couple of videos. I don't know what's going on lately, but the gameplay is absolutely horrendous lately, and you're going to see a couple of great examples of that. So I put one torp spread out on the Moskva, who's reversing, and then I'm going to put another torp spread on this Hindenburg, who's also coming toward the A cap. And you can see that the guys that were at A and had secured it are taking off. The Lightning's in pretty good shape. He seems to be unscathed, even though he's right in front of a radar cruiser. I'm not sure how he's managing that. And there we go. There's another radar. And I'm not sure where this one is coming from. But I managed to land a torpedo on the Moskva and hurt him pretty bad. And it looks like he is flooding, and he does flood out. So at this point, we've got 2 kills, and they're the only 2 kills, and we just lost our Richelieu, another ship over by the sea cap. You'll notice I'm clicking on the map quite a bit. I'm trying to get those guys to leave sea and, you know, help with... and, wow, I wasn't expecting that, but the Hindenburg goes down, which is kind of ironic because he saw me torp the Moskva. So right now our team has 3 kills, and I've got all 3. Yeah. And you can see I'm clicking on the map. I'm being annoying. Notice our gearing's positioning. He is way behind most of our ships. This is another example of what's wrong with this game. They need to punish people like this. Like, I have no idea what he's doing. He's obviously not bringing any value to the team. Not only that, but if you look on the mini-map, you can see we have an Otago out on the east side. I don't know what he's doing either. So at this point, we lost 2 of our battleships. I think they were both Jean Bart's. At least the little stencil image looks like that. Our Worcester ends up taking out their Worcester, and in return their Republic takes out our Worcester, and their Monarch takes out our Hindenburg. And you can see a trend on this sea cap, and I just don't understand why these people will literally fight a battle of attrition. It doesn't make sense. It's not how you win games. And despite my best efforts, we actually just lost 2 more ships, the Lightning and the Des Moines. So, despite my best efforts, we're still down a ship. And again, this is just like the level of ridiculousness that I've seen lately. You know, according to the matchmaking mod, the other team was better. And I don't think it's, you know, 100% accurate. You know, numbers, there's a lot of variables that can come into a game, but generally the numbers tell a story. And, you know, here's an example where all of a sudden our team is just getting wiped out, losing ships left and right. Ironically, on the flank where the majority of them went. It's literally mind-boggling. And the fact that when you ask people for help or you click on the map, the only response you generally get is a shut the fuck up, or they report you, or they chat ban you if they're a division. Basically a sad state of affairs for this game, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm getting pretty frustrated with the game in itself. And the quality of the players is just horrendous. You know, and we managed to sink that Hindenburg. And we're still down a couple ships, even though I have 4 kills. 4 of the 6, for the record. The Massachusetts is following me. I'm trying to get the other gearing to head to B because the enemy battleship and destroyer are capping A, and then I'm sure they're going to be going to B. So I'm calling out get back. And lo and behold, low health Akazuki pops up right in front of us. So we are definitely going to take shots at him. And our Massachusetts takes care of him. And not really sure where those torps he sent were going. They're kind of in my general direction, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he was torping. I don't think he had me on radio location. So, drop a smoke. I figured this Iowa was going to either stop here or slow down, knowing that I was over here because I was spotted for a brief second. So I didn't want to put my torps out right on the corner there. Not only that, but there's still the wreckage of the Akazuki over there. So I put one on the production line, and then I put one a little bit forward of the production line, and I'm just going to harass him with some HE. The Shima's got some new HE and a little bit better fire chance, a little bit better damage. I'm going to try to get him on fire, maybe see if we can get him to burn a damage control. Our Massachusetts is pushing in, and yeah, we're still down a ship, and we're getting ready to. I don't know if we're going to be down a cap here. We'll see. When I land one torp, unfortunately, I don't like to land a couple, but we did manage to get, I believe, a flood on him, and he must have taken a pretty good hit from the Massachusetts, and then I just happened to land the last salvo, and yeah, that gives me my Kraken, and the teams are even as far as ship count. We both teams have one cap and a C cap, even though our entire fleet has went over here initially, with the exception of the ships that died at A and myself. The Mass kind of peeked over there and then backed off and then kind of followed me around. So they basically had, 7 ships over here. And, yeah. This Montana is full health out in the background. Our Gearing is low health, and he's been in the back quite a bit. Again, I'm trying to get those guys to relocate and head over to the B cap, but man, you just can't expect people to even understand apparently what you're asking them to do. I don't know what to say. To me, if you look at the mini map, you can see that they've taken A to probably go into B. So you can't take a cap and then just give it up. It doesn't make any sense. It's a lot harder to take caps than it is to defend them. But apparently it's even harder to communicate effectively with your team and or expect your team to understand what you're pinging the map for. Like I said, usually get a shut the fuck up kind of response. But so managed to take the C cap. So that's my second cap. And yeah, I guess I'm going back to B. I am not going to mess with this Mogami that is basically going into our spawn. I have no interest in chasing him. I'd rather defend the caps if possible. We do have a ship advantage, and we have a good point lead. Despite my team's best efforts to throw this game and the best efforts of most of our team to throw their ships away early on and not even take the cap that they were fighting for, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. But it's been like this for a couple weeks. Just ridiculous gameplay and time after time after time. I'm not going to complain anymore. I'll just shut up. But so radio location is pointing in B. We see some smoke. And lo and behold, we have a very low health Gearing in here. So I put a couple sets of torps out. I'm going to go very slowly here. The reason I'm not rushing in is twofold. A, he's probably torping me. He was almost broadside to me. And B, trying to get my turrets to swing around and face my starboard side, so when I do come around, oh, speaking of the torps, So when I do come around the edge of the island here, I will have my guns either already swung around and facing the side. You can see he's left his smoke. I'm going to get spotted right here, and I want to have my guns ready. And lo and behold, there he is. He ran and managed to get a couple of hits in that salvo. Actually got 3 of the 6 and a kill. So that's number 6. And lo and behold, as expected, the Monarch isn't too far behind. And we're going to leverage the gearing smoke, and we're going to keep it between us and him. And hopefully we're going to sink in with these torps. Although he is pretty healthy. And speaking of healthy, if you might notice when I swing around here that there is a, here comes the gearing. He's decided to get into the battle. And we managed to land 2 torp hits and get Confederate off of the Monarch that was behind us. And it does look like he is flooding. And yes, he is flooding. So we're going to smoke up here. It does look like he did use his damage control, and we're going to put some more torps out here. And we're going to see if we can get this guy for our 7th kill. And lo and behold, he pops right out. We land a fire. And my Massachusetts basically pounds him, and he gets taken out. Yeah, and that's more or less the game. 6 kills and 139,000. The gearing kind of went a long way into this cap. Why, I don't know. Again, it seems like people are just avoiding actually fighting other ships. I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, I get it to a certain extent if you don't want to go into a cap because there's 5 radar ships on the other team. I understand that. But what I've been seeing lately is people saying, oh, I'm not going to B. B is a suicide mission. It's not really a suicide mission if you know what you're doing and you play accordingly. So, anyways, that's the end of the game. 139,000, 6 kills. We got Confederate, Kraken, and First Blood, 2 caps. 8 torpedo hits. So not a bad game. Not a bad game at all. Base XP was 2583, about 600 points above the Massachusetts, who I did give a compliment because although his initial positioning kind of sucked, and there was a time at sea that I wish he would have backed off so I could have got my torps out a little differently, but other than that, he did pretty good, and we managed to take 9 of the 11 kills, so yeah, can't complain about that. 8 torp hits for 111,000 damage, a little bit of flooding, and took very little damage this game, only about 3,500 damage, 3,600 damage. So a pretty good game, 14,000 Captain XP, and we took home 339,000 credits. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.